The club exuded lust and sin. Red and blue lights danced across the dark room, reflecting off glasses of liquor and the eager eyes of women seated around the stage. The air was thick with expensive perfume, tequila, and the sensual pulse of music. Emma Collins never imagined she would end up there. She was a discreet woman, career-driven, with a solid standing in the financial market. But after weeks of stress, her friends had insisted she needed to let loose. Just one night. Just fun. And that was how she found herself there, sitting in an exclusive male strip club, holding a glass of wine and pretending she wasn't completely mesmerized by the man on stage. Tall, broad shoulders, tattoos snaking down his muscular arms. Movements slow, deliberate. Eyes dark and predatory. His name? Liam Hayes. And Emma couldn't look away. The Game of Seduction, did you enjoy the show? The voice was deep, amused, coming from right behind her. Emma turned slowly, meeting Liam's dark, intense gaze. He was now wearing only an open dress shirt and tight slacks. It was interesting. She raised her glass of wine, keeping her composure. He smirked, one corner of his mouth tilting in pure provocation. Just interesting? Emma arched an eyebrow. I'm sure you've already heard plenty of compliments tonight. I wouldn't want to inflate your ego even more. Liam leaned in a little closer, his body heat seeping into her space. I get the feeling you enjoy a challenge. She smiled, but before she could respond, a waitress approached and handed her a black envelope. A gift from the house. The girl winked at Emma before walking away. Emma opened the envelope and widened her eyes. VIP experience, private room with Liam Hayes. When she looked up, Liam was already smiling. Still think it was just interesting? The night that changed everything. The VIP room was intimate, bathed in dim lighting. A black leather couch dominated the space, and a low table held a bottle of already opened champagne. Emma sat down, slowly crossing her legs, aware of Liam's gaze trailing over her. He stepped closer, his dark eyes roaming every inch of her body. Are you nervous? His voice was low, laced with something dangerous. No, she smiled. Are you? His grin widened. I never am. The music started, and Liam began to move. But this time it wasn't a show for the crowd. It was for her. His hips rolled to the rhythm, his gaze locked onto hers. Every movement was an unspoken invitation. Every step forward was a test to see how far she was willing to go. And Emma? She was done watching. When Liam leaned in, his knees grazing hers, her hands slid up his chiseled abdomen, feeling the hard muscles tense under her touch. The game was over. She grabbed him by the collar, pulling him into a kiss, forbidden, hot, irresistible. Liam didn't hesitate. He lifted her onto his lap, gripping her waist like he couldn't bear to let go. Their mouths moved in perfect sync, growing more urgent, more desperate. Clothes began to disappear, breaths turned into ragged whispers, and the music outside faded into nothing. Their bodies explored each other like this was the only night they had. But both knew. One night would never be enough. Beyond the stage the next morning, Emma woke up in a bed that wasn't hers. The sheets were tangled, and beside her, Liam lay breathing softly. She should leave. She should forget this night. But then he opened his eyes and smiled lazily at her. And she knew. She was trapped in this game. And the best part? She didn't want to escape.